discuss further, I'm joined by our guests, an esteemed panel of guests. I'm joined by Mr. Mukesh Tyagi, who's a BJP spokesperson. I'm also joined by Mr. Vijay Kaushik, who is a political analyst. Good evening to both of you, sir. Thank you for taking your time and joining us over here. My first question would go across to Mr. Vijay Kaushik, who's a political analyst. Mr. Kaushik, you must have heard what Ms. Mukherjee was saying. She's a daughter of the former president, the late former president Pranab Mukherjee, and she is very emphatic when she's saying that, what is wrong if the government has decided to announce a memorial for the late former President Pranab Mukherjee? He was as much a Congress leader as Dr. Manmohan Singh was. Then why is there this entire discourse that is an objection in a sense being raised over the allocation of the memorial ground for him and not for Dr. Manmohan Singh as yet?
देखिए, सबसे पहली बात तो ये है कि मैं कांग्रेस पार्टी से हूं। दूसरी बात यह है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी की छवि खराब करने के लिए एक षड्यंत्र हो रहा है। प्रणब मुखर्जी की बेटी कुछ कहती है और प्रणब मुखर्जी के बेटे ने जो पूरी डिटेल दी है, पूरा देश उसे देख रहा है। तो उन्होंने कहा कि कांग्रेस ने प्रणब मुखर्जी को बहुत कुछ दिया। अब जहां तक एक स्मारक की बात है, दूसरी चीजों की बात है, तो निश्चित तौर पर प्रणब मुखर्जी से कांग्रेस पार्टी को कभी कोई ऐतराज नहीं था। कांग्रेस पार्टी ने हमेशा पूरा सम्मान दिया। राहुल जी इज्जत करते हैं, आज भी इज्जत करती नहीं है। तो मैं कि जो मनमोहन सिंह जी को जो सम्मान मिलना चाहिए दुनिया से जाने के बाद नहीं मिला।
But we'll try and reconnect with Mr. Vijay Kaushik to complete the point that he was making. We are facing some audio issue or the network is patchy. Well, Mr. Mukesh Tyagi, you've heard what Ms. Sharmishta Mukherjee was saying. She goes on to say that, the Congress party never really demanded a memorial ground for the former president, Dr. Pranab Mukherjee, who was also a Congress leader, dedicated his life in service for the Congress party. But having said that, what do you make of the narrative when there are leaders like Danish Ali who makes a statement saying that there's a preferential treatment meted out to Mr. Pranab Mukherjee because he started leaning towards the Sangh?
I think Sharmishta Mukherjee has raised a very valid point, and she, being a daughter of such a worthy man who received the Bharat Ratna, became the president of India, and also held many important portfolios, he played a very important role in the growth of this country, both as a finance minister, external affairs minister, defense minister. I mean, you name it. A very, very versatile, extremely intelligent, and very well-informed man. Now, the grouse happened. I mean, recently, just on Veer Savarkar, Congress raised the issue, which was a resolution passed by Delhi University in 21. Now, when things happen, they start crying over the spilled milk. Now, it has been given. As a matter of fact, this memorial is given as a great honor. And Congress should appropriate this position because he's essentially a Congress leader. And never he says that he's a BJP leader. So on the contrary, they should give kudos to BJP for being non-partisan, giving a memorial space there. So I think what is the controversy? And they're raising this issue for nothing. Number one. You see, the second point which I want to raise is when he was getting Bharat Ratna, why Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi did not turn to congratulate him. So there was some kind of a grouse against him for a long time. And actually the genesis began when Mrs. Gandhi died in 1984 and the question of succession came, who will be the Prime Minister of India. I think he was there was a discord between Rajiv Gandhi and Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. So that is the time Congress had started hating him. And Congress is known for hating his own politician, whether it's Narasimha Rao was not, his mortal remains were not allowed to come into AICC office. Even Sitaram Kesri, he was the treasurer of AICC. He was insulted, humiliated. So this is considered to be very, very pop and mom shop, fiefdom of dynasty, and that is where the problem is. He went for RSS. Dr. Hegde was on the inclusion of the society. That speech he is given is a statement, and going to RSS has ilt Congress so much that they are denouncing this position and criticizing BJP government why the memorial space has been allocated for Pranab Mukherjee. Now, what is the point they are trying to have? They've gone completely lost the control on their head. They should be, on the contrary, praising the BJP BJP government that Pranab Mukherjee, a tallest leader, needs a space there, and he's a source of inspiration. Now, a lot of people say it's the election around the corner. That's why such awards are given, such recognition is given. Where is the election? There's no election in West Bengal. I can imagine there have been some correlation between the election and the nominations of Bharat or maybe other honors, but there's no election around. Maybe Delhi election has nothing to do with the Bengali community. Delhi election is being held independently of Bengalis' influence. So I think this kind of preposterous, illogical, and absurd statement coming from Congress belittles their position, which is a grand old party. No, they should be behaving more mature.
Okay.
On the contrary, they're behaving like juveniles.
Let me just take that question across to Mr. Vijay Kaushik, who must have fixed his audio connection by now. Mr. Kaushik, you've heard what Mr. Tyagi was saying at this juncture, saying that why is the Congress party so perturbed? Do you feel that a grand old party, when questions are going to be raised about the kind of honor that was accorded by the Congress party to the former Prime Minister, Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao, also is at this juncture being raised? But do you feel that this is a misplaced objection by the Congress party when it comes to the memorial ground being sanctioned for Dr. Pranab Mukherjee and not for Dr. Manmohan Singh yet, but the government has made that commitment that they are going to do that also in due course?
देखिए, सबसे पहली बात तो ये है कि कांग्रेस के नेताओं को हड़पने में लगी हुई है भारतीय जनता पार्टी। सवाल ये है कि प्रणब मुखर्जी जी किस पार्टी के नेता थे? अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी ने उन्हें सम्मान नहीं दिया था या कुछ नहीं दिया था, तो वो आखिरी दम तक कांग्रेस में क्यों रहे? पहली बात। दूसरी बात, उनकी बेटी का बयान कुछ और है, बेटे का बयान कुछ और है, यानी कि उस परिवार में भी घुसकर उस परिवार को दो फाड़ करने का काम भाजपा ने किया है, इसमें कोई संदेह नहीं है। और खुद मनमोहन सिंह जी के कार्यों की जो तारीफ है, मोदी सरकार ने जाने अनजाने देश की सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी की है। उन्होंने, सरकार ने ये माना है कि मनमोहन सिंह जी ने जो देश के लिए आर्थिक नीतियां बनाई थी, उनके कारण देश ने बहुत तरक्की की और दुनिया भर की आर्थिक मंदी भारत को छू नहीं पाई। तो अगर उनके बारे में कांग्रेस बात करती है तो इनको दर्द क्यों होता है? इन्हें सीधी सीधी बातें करनी चाहिए, लेकिन ये बात ले जाएंगे, कभी सावरकर पर ले जाएंगे, कभी दूसरे मुद्दों पर ले जाएंगे। अरे भाई, हमें मालूम है कि मोदी जी मनमोहन सिंह जी से इसलिए नफरत करते हैं क्योंकि उनकी नीतियों के खिलाफ जाकर इस देश में नोटबंदी करके इस देश की कमर तोड़ने का काम मोदी सरकार ने किया है। ये मुद्दे ना उठे, इसलिए इस तरह के परपंच जनता के बीच में मोदी सरकार द्वारा, भाजपा नेताओं द्वारा फैलाए जा रहे हैं।
Okay.
हकीकत यह है कि कांग्रेस को ना प्रणब मुखर्जी से कोई ऐतराज है, ना किसी और देशभक्त या देश के सम्मानित किसी व्यक्ति से ऐतराज है।
ठीक है।
हमें तो यह है कि हमारी भावनाएं मनमोहन सिंह जी से ज्यादा जुड़ी हुई है, तो हमने मनमोहन सिंह जी की बात रखी है, इसमें क्या ऐतराज है? सरकार को कांग्रेस की बातें माननी चाहिए। विपक्ष की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी है कांग्रेस।
ठीक है मिस्टर कौशिक जी, पॉइंट टेकन। आने वाले दिनों में जाके मालूम पड़ेगा कि कांग्रेस ने अपना जो स्टैंड है वो क्लैरिफाई किया इस मुद्दे पे या नहीं, बिकॉज टुडे व्हेन वी रीच्ड आउट टू द कांग्रेस पार्टी लीडर्स टू जॉइन अस ऑन दिस डिस्कशन, दे डिसाइडेड टू रिफ्रेन फ्रॉम दिस इशू. I have paucity of time over here, but I thank our esteemed panel of guests for joining us over here, Mr. Mukesh Tyagi and Mr. Vijay Kaushik. Thank you for taking our time and joining us here at Mirror Now. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the broadcast. Lots more lined up. Stay tuned and keep watching Mirror Now for more news and updates.